All right, with all the videos we've been talking about, we always talk about who is the best leader of the Power Rangers. I got the red shirt on today anyway, so let's find out who is the best Red Ranger. CBR ranking these. I don't know if they're doing a top 10 list here, but who is the best Red Ranger? Let's figure it out, TJ. I know you guys hate TJ. I'm sorry. I like TJ.
You can't have a Power
Probably
Rangers
Tommy.
team without the
Zeo
Red Ranger.
Tommy is what
That's
I'll
like
say.
having a peanut butter and jelly sandwich without any peanut butter, don't you think? Without a Red Ranger, I'm pretty sure the whole team falls apart and by goofy, bizarrely costumed evildoers a long time ago.
Yes.
There's so many Red Rangers over the years, there's one big question
That's number one.
who's the most powerful Red Ranger? Now, it's important to keep in mind that power can be measured in a lot of different ways, such as the Red Ranger's skills, power levels, amount of heart, and just general style. Who's sitting at the top? Whose costume kicks putty butt? And whose costume repulses even Rita? Well,
All right, here we go.
has there ever been a more powerful, more beloved, more legendary Power Ranger than Tommy?
No,
I don't
of
think
course
so.
not.
To
Number
many,
one,
Tommy is
yes.
a bigger face to the franchise than Zordon, and that's really saying something, because he's a big face. Never mind. Seriously,
Lame.
I love Tommy almost as much as Tommy likes changing hairstyles to fit whatever era he's in. But really, it's Shadow because he's just that awesome. Sure, Tommy might be more well-known for being the Green Ranger or the White Ranger, but he was the Red Zeo Ranger as well as the
forget
first
it.
Red Turbo Ranger. But his overall strength level and his sage wisdom and experience makes him the most powerful Red Ranger by far.
I feel like that's fair. That's the only right answer. Who is the number one strongest Red Ranger? Tommy. Of course. Number two, Jason. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. You gotta give it up to them. Number three, honestly, might have to be Rocky or Andros.
Red Ranger, and the original leader of the first Power Rangers team. His Red Ranger
Yes.
set the stage for every Red Ranger going forward. When you think of the Red Ranger, your mind would most likely go to Jason,
Yeah, automatically, that's where it goes every time.
type of guy you look up to. There's a reason why Tommy picked Jason to be the Gold Zeo Ranger after all. And even though he looked awesome in that Gold Zeo suit, it wasn't long before he had to return the powers, which was fine.
Legendary.
How do you think the
Legendary
pitch
is red.
meeting for Power Rangers in space went? All right.
I told you next was Andros.
Power Rangers, but in space. When we first meet Andros, the Red Space Ranger, he's operating on his own and has spent a good amount of time alone, dedicated to his mission. Although
Character
he's
depth.
a little different and doesn't quite understand Earth customs, he's an excellent Red Ranger. Besides the standard hand-to-hand combat mastery and the customary looking good in red requirement, and full disclosure, the design for the Power Rangers in space outfits are my favorites in the entire series. What do you
Really?
think? Do you agree or disagree?
Disagree.
I think Wes from
Not the
Power
best.
Rangers Time
Yes.
Force is one of the most
That's what I was gonna say. Wes was next.
In a rare move, his Red Ranger isn't really the leader of his team. That honor goes to the Pink Time Force Ranger, Jen.
I'm honestly gonna give you something. I'm gonna say that Wes should rank higher than Andros. Now you let me know what you think. But I just think that when you talk about Red Ranger, you talk about legendary, I think Wes would go higher. I think honestly he would be really going for second, but you can't put Jason third. So that's why Tommy, Jason, Wes, Andros, then TJ.
Sees him become the team's field commander and grow a lot as a person. He goes from this goofy jock struggling to find out what he wants to do with his life to a full-blown hero by the time the series ends. He wouldn't accept destiny or fate and instead fought for the future he wanted, which is pretty admirable, and that was one epic partnership.
Yes, it was.
After Tommy needed a new Red Ranger to lead the team in Power Rangers Turbo, he chose TJ to don the red duds. And I think
Boy,
that was an
that's what I said.
It just oozes courage and strength, and he proved right away why he was worthy of being the Red Ranger. He had always wanted to be a Power Ranger growing up, and got his chance when he happened to see Tommy captured by evil forces.
And he had to deal with a
Bravery,
rookie
Tommy
team.
made him the Red Turbo Ranger. Blame the fact that the show wanted to set up Power Rangers in space. After that, TJ became the Blue Ranger. But he still kept his
But he had a
overall
leader.
leadership
Yeah, he was still a leader.
lead the space team when Andros was too busy figuring out how to eat pretzels or something.
Thank you.
Although Lauren
Thank you for putting some
wasn't
respect on
introduced until
TJ.
near the end of Power Rangers Super Samurai, in a twist it was revealed that the Red Samurai Ranger we'd gotten to know over the course of the show wasn't the true Red Samurai Ranger. Lauren probably had the most difficult transition because she essentially had to take over a team that didn't quite accept her right away. But even though she was only in 5 episodes, she easily proved her strength and power as a Red Ranger.
She had the moves, buddy.
Under her leadership and proving why she was the only one capable of sealing the enemy away forever.
Okay, that's fair.
Oh man, Connor definitely fits the bill here. He's the Red Ranger in the Dino Thunder series, and our first introduction to him sees him cutting class to play soccer and insulting women, so yeah, he had a long way to go. But thankfully, once he became the Red Ranger, he started to mature and evolve because Tommy was a—
But was he the leader? Tommy was the leader. That's what I'm saying.
It's Tommy. Connor didn't necessarily have a whole lot to do, but did eventually exemplify all the great things a Red Ranger should be. Carter from Power Rangers Lightspeed Rescue just looks like a hero, doesn't he? You look at him and think to yourself, yeah, he's a definite Red Ranger.
Gotta ask, should Carter be moved up on the list? Because I kind of think he's low. At number 8, he's kind of low. He needs to be up a little bit. Honestly, he needs to be before Connor. Because Connor wasn't even the leader, and that's the main thing when I saw him. I mean, yeah, we liked him, he was cool, he had the powers and everything like that, but I definitely thought that because Tommy was the leader, being second in command to a small team, even when the team expanded by one more, it's not really being second in command, is it? Like, kind of like how Andros was like the leader, but TJ had to be the leader, even though Red was supposed to be the leader. It's the same thing.
To go out and rescue a kitten from a tree or something.
So Carter should have been higher.
He also has one of the best, most epic backstories of any Red Ranger ever. As a kid, Carter was saved from a burning building by a mysterious stranger and decided to become a firefighter himself.
Had to give back. That's a noble story anyway.
Evil forces all around him. Yeah, Carter is definitely a good role model overall.
Yes, he is. So he deserves to be up there.
Yeah, it's Jason again, but not the cheesy 90s version of Jason we've all come to love and appreciate. This Jason is the Jason from the 2017.
I don't know about this.
That movie wasn't a game changer, and it didn't light up the box office, which means we'll probably never see this version of Jason again.
Never, and we don't need to.
This Jason grows into his leadership role a lot quicker than other Rangers on this list. At least I think he did.
But I don't know.
Now I can't remember. All I think about when thinking about this movie is how much I now want a Krispy Kreme donut.
Yeah,
can you believe Shane started the series not even believing the Power Rangers existed? Come on, Shane. Were you just ignoring all the news reports about giant robot versus monster fights that were happening for like the last few years? Well, that makes sense. Despite his overall addiction to skateboarding and extreme sports, Shane was actually a pretty solid Red Ranger. I would think that a team of Power Rangers that were all adrenaline junkies would annoy me a little bit, but they were surprisingly easy to root for.
You gotta root for the good guys.
From Power Rangers Operation Overdrive had to deal with some pretty heavy stuff. Yeah, the Overdrive season is one of my personal least favorite seasons, and a lot of that has to do with the characters. Imagine finding out that your whole life is a lie and you are actually an advanced machine? That's insane. And the fact that he actually turned into a human at the end of the season? Wowza. But yeah, his androidness definitely gave him a power boost in battle. Sometimes Red Rangers are born great. Other Red Rangers have greatness thrust upon them. In the beginning of the season, the Rangers have to pull swords out of stones. You know, because that makes sense. And Leo's brother actually pulled the Red Ranger's sword, but dies before he can transform. But throughout Lost Galaxy, he proved himself to be a great Red Ranger. Although he could make a great—
Wait, I don't remember that in Lost Galaxy. They took this man out for real? I do not remember that. That's what you call depth in a children's television show. For real.
Leader at times, Tyler from Power Rangers Dino Charge was often bogged down by one of his biggest character flaws, obsessing over finding the truth behind his father's disappearance. But his overall quest did hamper his ability to lead the team. But I'm willing to forgive that because of how extra his costume was at times.
I like that. I like that outfit. Yeah, it does look awesome.
Although he wasn't the Red Ranger until the very end of Power Rangers SPD, Sky is one of the more interesting additions to this list. Because let me tell you, he did not start out that way. He wanted to be the Red Ranger more than anything in his life. By being forced to be the Blue Ranger, he was incredibly humbled throughout the show and eventually earned the title of Red Ranger. Special thanks to Hyper RPG for this next one.
What is this?
Additions is Power Rangers Hyperforce, which is a tabletop RPG web series.
Huh?
The Red Ranger of that experimental format is Marv, and he has some pretty nifty powers if I do say so myself.
What is this?
So if you thought Red Rangers were cool before, just imagine one of them shooting fire out of their hands.
What is like a card game? Yeah, enough of that. I don't know what that is.
Character. In fact, he suffers from perhaps too much focus when in reality, he just wasn't that interesting. But his power
should've been a
levels
top 10.
can't really be denied here.
Now we're just giving it
He
away.
had the chance to become the most powerful wizard ever, which says something. But he even turns evil in the finale, which shows just how powerful he could be. And in the end of his show, he decides to give up being the Red Ranger so he can go on a cross-country motorcycle trip with his parents?
It's a random ending.
Scott from Power Rangers RPM also could have placed much higher on this list if he wasn't so obsessed with cars for coming to rescue me.
Scratch my
And
car.
his personality can be a bit abrasive, but it's sometimes a little tough to watch. But his saving grace is at the end of the day, he does have the heart of a true hero.
Well,
You would think Alex from
her-
Power Rangers Time Force isn't that powerful. He's actually still alive and helps
Yes.
the Time Force Rangers in secret from a dark room in the future, which is why he's relatively low on this list. There's more to being a Red
Yeah.
Ranger than just raw strength, Alex.
Gotta be a leader too.
Out of anyone on this list, Jack from Power Rangers SPD probably has some of the best powers. He has the ability to phase through solid objects, which is incredibly
Okay, that's
helpful for
cool.
a Power
I
Ranger.
didn't know that.
But the reason why Jack isn't higher here is because ultimately, he didn't want to be a Red Ranger in the first place.
Well, that's what it's
But
about.
wants to do it in a way other than being a Ranger.
Yeah.
Epic Brody is epically cool and the epic Red Ranger for the epic Power Rangers Ninja
With
Steel
the
arc.
coolest suit ever. That's
Sorry,
awesome.
just thinking about Brody makes me think of the word epic a lot. He's a beacon of positivity and quite the martial artist. I'd want someone like Brody as a leader in just about anything, wouldn't you? It's always fun to see how a Red Ranger gets that specific title.
What are we on top 25?
For Casey in Power
Or are we
Rangers
just going
Jungle
through all of
Fury,
them?
it was by standing up to a bully. And although he was pretty inexperienced and had trouble following orders, he eventually grew into a full-fledged teacher, which was a little
Okay.
surprising, but sure, I'll go with it.
I had to stop. Right.
All right, we're getting to the bottom of the rankings now, so I have to apologize to Troy from Power Rangers Megaforce for placing him so low. He's just kind of there. His costume looks cool, but
Yeah,
that
cool
doesn't
suit.
make
Yeah,
up
that's
for
what
him
I was about to say.
basically being the vanilla ice cream of Red Rangers.
Ice cream.
When your biggest power is that you're so empathetic with nature that you can communicate with animals, it means you should go back to the drawing board. Although that could be a pretty neat
Yeah.
backstory, it doesn't make up for Cole's lackluster development or characterization. Maybe someone else should have led the team. Alright, I actually really like Jaden from Power Rangers Samurai, so why is he so low on this list? Well, because his
Because-
whole arc leads up to the fact that he wasn't the true Red Ranger for his series. But as soon
But,
as we met
yeah.
Lauren, I immediately wanted more time with her. Plus, Jaden lacks a personality as he's more stoic and serious most of the time, which can be a serious snooze fest.
Doesn't work for the overall
Someone's
thing.
got to be last, right?
They put Rocky?
Sorry, Rocky. I know
Come
you just want to have fun.
wait, hold on. The disrespect for Rocky is crazy. I forgot he wasn't mentioned. Surely he comes before half of this list. This is crazy. Let's figure out why.
And play pachinko all the time, but you just never really fit as the Red Ranger. Having
With
to replace
Tommy.
Jason in the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and having to occupy the same
Oh,
space as
that's
the alpha
true.
male Tommy. But you could have tried to be a bit more interesting rather than mope around about feeling useless, couldn't you? I guess not.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, fine. Rocky being lower on the list does make more sense now that you put it that way, because he did have to be alongside Tommy the whole time. And that's impossible, because when Power Rangers first started, and we'll be quick about this. When Power Rangers first started, everybody wanted to be the Red Ranger, of course. And I think you were able to divide, like this guy wanted to be black, he wanted to be blue, he wanted to be, girls wanted to be the yellow or pink, but everybody wanted to be the main guy. Then when Tommy got in the mix, everybody wanted to be Tommy. It didn't matter. When Tommy was green, we wanted to be green. When Tommy was white, we wanted to be white. When Tommy was red, we wanted to be red, So it's hard to come after that. But let me know what you guys think. Is this list accurate? Did Rocky place too low? Did TJ place too high? Or did TJ place too low? Should he have been third? Let me know in the comments. I'll see you next time.